why Ozempic or semaglutide isn't going anywhere. So what is it? Well, according to Wikipedia, facts, right? Semaglutide, sold under the brand name Ozempic or Wegovy, is an anti-diabetic medication used for treating type 2 diabetes and anti-obesity medication used for long-term weight management, developed by Novo Nordisk in 2012. You may have seen big celebrity names like Elon Musk tweeting about Ozempic and the success he's had when it comes to weight loss. You may have also seen big companies like Weight Watchers now saying that they're going to be providing drugs like Ozempic through their product and service. So what is it and what is all the hype about?
This is gonna be good.
So let's first understand the psychology of people and why this drug isn't going anywhere. So I want you to meet my friend, who's not really my friend because I've never met him, Alex Hormozi, who come up with the value equation. And this is how we see value as people, as humans, and what we perceive as very valuable. So what does this break down into? It comes into 4 different variables. That is the dream outcome, the perceived likelihood of achievement, the time delay, and the effort and sacrifice. This is what makes up value. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna compare Ozempic to Body Smart's coaching, and unfortunately it doesn't stack in our favor too much, but you'll see. So let's put Ozempic through the value equation. So we've got the dream outcome, which is to lose weight, so we'll get a point for that. Most people think they're going to be able to lose weight. Then we've got the perceived likelihood of achievement. Do we feel like Ozempic is going to help you lose weight? Now, for a lot of people, yes, it's going to dampen the physiological hunger that we have, force us to eat fewer calories, put us in a calorie deficit. After that, we've got the time delay. Now, with Ozempic, you're probably gonna be able to put yourself in a large calorie deficit and see maybe weight loss or fat loss, maybe faster than you ever have before, because you're gonna be able to stay consistent. And then the effort and sacrifice. Now, you are gonna have to inject yourself, so there is a level of effort and sacrifice to that. You are still gonna have to be mindful of your calories and, if possible, do some resistance training. So we'll maybe give it a half a point for that. This means that Ozempic on the value equation comes in at a 3.5. Now let's take Body Smart's coaching. So we've got dream outcome, we want to lose weight. Yeah, we've got 1 point for that. Perceived likelihood of achievement. Now I'll be honest, a lot of the women that I've spoken to over the decade I've been doing this now have a complete lack of belief that they're ever going to achieve the results that they have, because the evidence they've got for the past 10 or 20 years is that they cannot see results. So with coaching, do we just come across sometimes as another thing that someone might try? Yes, that is the belief that people have. So we're at a 0. Then when it comes to the time delay, how long is it realistically going to take you to achieve sustainable results that last? You know, it's going to be months or even years in some cases for people. So again, people are going to see that as a 0 when it comes to the value equation. And then we've got the effort and sacrifice. You're going to have to upskill yourself around nutrition, learn how to effectively move your body, become more self-aware. There's lots of effort to be put in, and there's a lot of time and effort and sacrifice to be put in to achieve that result. So again, in a value equation, we're getting a 0, which means Body Smart's coaching comes in at a 1 out of 4. So just a side note, this is just how people might perceive our coaching. We actually get people incredible results, and if you've read our Trustpilots or seen our video testimonials, you will know so many of the women that work with us say they wish they had started decades before because of the success they've had and how it's impacted every aspect of their lives. Now, everything has a cost, and I don't just mean financial. It also is your time, the effort you put in, the energy that you give it, and of course the financial aspect of it. I just want to say that I am not against weight loss medication in no means, because in a lot of ways, the reward far outweighs the risk. And that's if you are morbidly obese and you've got risks of heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers. Taking a weight loss medication that can get you into a much healthier weight range is definitely worth it. However, some of you people are definitely looking at this and taking the easy way out, and looking at that value equation, and it makes sense. Hey, here's this new miracle weight loss drug, and it's gonna help you lose weight, and you're not gonna have to work that hard. Why wouldn't you want to take it? Well, I'm here to tell you about the psychological and physiological you are about to get yourself into. So first, I want to tell you a little story about the cobra paradox. So what is this? Back in the early 1900s in India, Delhi, there was an issue with too many cobras. So what happened? The government put out a bounty for people to bring in cobra tails. And lots of people started doing this. But what the government didn't realize, and what people quickly did realize, that is, a cobra doesn't die if you cut its tail off. Now, what did people start doing? They started breeding cobras to cut off their tails so they could have more tails to give to the government and bring in more money. Now, the government quickly realized what was going on and put an end to this. But then all the extra cobras that were bred were now let back out, and they actually had even more cobras. than they had to begin with. So this is all about unintended consequences, and I really want to get into this around Ozempic and where you really need to be cautious, because a lot of the women that we've worked with, and I've personally worked with, have been on a cycle of on a diet and off a diet, and on that yo-yo train for years. In fact, for most women, for decades. You go on a diet, you see some success, you come off a diet, you gain the weight back, and you end up back where you started, and you're in this perpetual cycle of just on a diet, off a diet, and it feels horrendous. Now, what Ozempic is here to do is pretty much the same thing. You're gonna go on a medication, you're gonna see results, and then you're gonna go, oh, the medication is the reason I'm able to see results. And the second you come off the medication, the weight is going to come back on because you've not learned the character traits, the habits, the lifestyle, or upskilled yourself to actually make a sustainable change. And this is exactly what Big Pharma wants. They want you stuck in that cycle, but using a medication, not a fad diet. They want you using that medication because that's a great business model. It keeps you stuck and you never actually get the freedom you want. And this makes sense. The diet industry brings in billions of dollars every single year. So why wouldn't the pharmaceutical companies want a slice of that too? Now, why is all of this important? We need to look at, like, what are the unintended consequences here? What are the possible long-term side effects of taking something like Ozempic? What is the psychological torment like of you being on a drug, off a drug, and injecting yourself for God knows how long? These things are unknown and could actually make things a hell of a lot worse for you, and it is something to be very cautious of before you become reliant on a drug. My advice to you, if you do not absolutely need to take this drug, then don't. If you're morbidly obese and taking this drug and losing weight is going to benefit your health, then like I said, I'm all for it. But if that isn't you, do not take it. Not only are there short and long-term side effects that people don't even know yet, there's the psychological torment and the reliance on a medication, which is not going anywhere.
You don't need drugs.
Instead, put the time in to learn the habits, the lifestyle that you need to create, and develop the skills so you can become a fit and healthy person. Not only is this going to benefit you today, but it is going to benefit you for the next 50 years of your life without the psychological torment. So what I'd like to know, would you try a drug like Ozempic? And if so, why? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to have that conversation. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.